Before we begin, if you love rare coins, hidden treasures, and fascinating stories from the world of collecting, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every week we uncover coins that many people overlook but that could hold incredible historical importance and collector interest. Today I want to show you a coin that at first glance looks ordinary. Many people would see it, drop it into a jar, or leave it forgotten in a drawer. But collectors know something most people do not. Sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest stories, and the coin we are exploring today is one that continues to attract attention among collectors around the world. Take a close look at this 1986 5-cent coin from South Africa. It may not seem extraordinary at first. The size is modest. The design appears simple. Yet behind this coin lies a fascinating connection to history, change, and the world of rare coin collecting. Imagine holding a piece of metal that has survived decades of everyday use. This coin may have passed through countless hands. It may have been used in shops, markets, and businesses during a very different era. Every scratch, every mark, and every detail tells part of a story that cannot be recreated. What makes older coins so interesting is not just their age. It is the mystery surrounding them. How many were produced? How many still exist today? How many were lost, damaged, melted, or forgotten? These questions are what make collectors excited whenever they discover an older coin hidden away in a collection. The 1986 5-cent coin comes from a period that many collectors find particularly interesting. Coins from this era represent a snapshot of history. They remind us of a time before digital payments, before smartphones, and before modern technology changed the way people handle money. Back then, coins played an essential role in daily life. For collectors, condition is everything. Two coins may look similar to the average person, but to an experienced collector they can be worlds apart. A coin that has spent decades circulating from person to person will usually show signs of wear. Another coin from the same year might have been preserved carefully and remain in exceptional condition. That difference alone can dramatically influence collector interest. Many people are surprised when they learn how closely collectors inspect coins. They study the lettering, the edges, the surface quality, and even tiny manufacturing details that most people never notice. A small difference can turn an ordinary coin into something far more desirable. This is why experienced collectors never rush when examining a coin. They use magnification, proper lighting, and years of knowledge to identify details that others might miss. Sometimes a hidden characteristic can transform a coin from a simple keepsake into a highly sought-after collectible. The excitement of coin collecting comes from the possibility of discovery. Every collection has a story. Every coin has a journey. Somewhere, someone may have placed this coin into a box decades ago without realizing that future collectors would find it fascinating. Think about how many old jars, drawers, and family collections still remain untouched today. There are countless people who inherited coins from parents or grandparents and have never examined them closely. Hidden among those collections could be pieces that collectors dream of finding. One of the reasons viewers enjoy these stories is because they remind us that history is often hiding in plain sight. You do not need to visit a museum to find something interesting. Sometimes history is sitting quietly in a drawer inside your own home. The 1986 5-cent coin is also a reminder that collecting is about more than money. It is about preserving the past. When collectors save coins, they are protecting small pieces of history for future generations. Every coin serves as a time capsule that connects us to the people who lived before us. Many collectors spend years searching for specific dates and varieties. They attend coin shows, study auction catalogs, and exchange information with other enthusiasts. The hunt itself becomes part of the reward. Finding a coin you have searched for over many years creates a feeling that few hobbies can match. Another reason coins capture attention is that they are tangible. In a world filled with digital information, a coin is something you can hold in your hand. It has weight, texture, and presence. It connects the past directly to the present. As you look at this 1986 South African 5-cent coin, consider everything it may have witnessed throughout its lifetime. Economic changes, historical events, and countless everyday transactions all form part of its unseen journey. Now here is the moment many viewers have been waiting for. While values can vary greatly depending on condition, rarity, collector demand, and market circumstances, stories surrounding exceptional examples of this coin have generated tremendous interest among collectors. Some collectors believe that a remarkable example with highly desirable characteristics could attract extraordinary attention in the marketplace. In collector discussions, figures as high as $55,000 have been mentioned for exceptional specimens under the right circumstances. Whether that number becomes reality for a specific coin depends on many factors, but one thing is certain. The possibility is enough to make collectors take a closer look whenever they encounter a 1986 South African 5-cent coin. So before you dismiss an old coin as ordinary, examine it carefully. The next coin you discover could hold a story far greater than its face value suggests. And that is exactly what makes coin collecting one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more rare coins, hidden treasures, and collector discoveries, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and join us for the next fascinating coin adventure.
Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because today we are diving into a coin that most people would ignore in their pocket change, yet collectors around the world still search for rare examples like hidden treasure. If you love old coins, rare discoveries, forgotten history, and the possibility of finding value where nobody else is looking, then this video is exactly for you. Today we are talking about the 1978 5-cent coin from South Africa. At first glance, this tiny coin may not look impressive. It is small, simple, and often overlooked. But experienced collectors know something very important. Sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest stories. And in the world of coin collecting, stories create demand, and demand creates value. The 1978 South African 5-cent coin belongs to a fascinating period in South African history. During the late 1970s, South Africa was going through major economic and political changes. Coins produced during this time reflected not only the economy but also the identity of the nation itself. Millions of these coins were minted, but not every coin survived in perfect condition. That is where the mystery begins. Most ordinary 5-cent coins from 1978 are still easy to find today. Many were heavily used in daily transactions. They passed through countless hands, markets, shops, and banks. Over time, scratches, fading, and damage reduced their quality. But every once in a while, collectors discover a rare piece that stands out from the rest. A coin with unusual features, perfect condition, or a minting mistake can suddenly become the center of attention. Now let's look closely at the design of this coin. On one side, you can see the national identity and official markings connected to South Africa. The details were carefully crafted to represent authority and tradition. On the other side, the denomination is displayed clearly with elegant lettering that gives the coin a classic appearance. Even though it is a small denomination, the craftsmanship reflects the precision used in coin production during that era. The metal composition of the coin also matters to collectors. Coins from this period were designed for durability, meaning they could survive years of circulation. However, environmental exposure changes everything. Moisture, heat, and rough handling can destroy a coin's beauty. That is why collectors become excited when they find a 1978 5-cent coin with sharp edges, clean surfaces, and strong original shine. But condition alone is not always enough to create high value. The real excitement often comes from rare minting errors. Imagine a coin leaving the mint with an unusual flaw, maybe a double strike, an off-center design, or incorrect alignment. These mistakes were never meant to happen, which makes them incredibly interesting to collectors. In some cases, error coins become more valuable than gold because they are unique pieces of history. This is where ordinary people become treasure hunters. Somewhere inside old drawers, forgotten jars, family collections, or inherited boxes, rare coins continue to wait quietly. Many collectors today started with just one unexpected discovery. A simple coin turned into a lifelong passion. And that passion is what drives the global coin market. Older men especially understand this feeling. There is something powerful about holding a piece of history in your hand. A coin from 1978 is more than metal. It represents another time, another generation, and memories connected to everyday life. Some people remember using these coins when they were young. Others remember seeing them in family collections. That emotional connection gives coins meaning beyond money. Collectors also pay attention to rarity within grading levels. A common coin in poor condition may only have small value, but the same coin in near-perfect condition can become extremely desirable. Professional grading services inspect coins carefully under magnification. They study every detail: scratches, shine, wear, and strike quality. A high-grade coin becomes much harder to find because very few survive decades without damage. Another reason this coin attracts attention is the growing international interest in African numismatics. For many years, collectors focused mainly on American and European coins. But now, more people are exploring coins from African nations, especially historical South African issues. As interest increases, prices for certain rare examples continue to rise. The 1978 5-cent coin also appeals to collectors because it belongs to a period before modern digital banking took over everyday life. Back then, coins had real presence in society. People carried them everywhere. Every coin had a journey. Some traveled across cities and villages. Some stayed hidden for decades. Every scratch tells a story. Imagine discovering one inside an old family wallet. First, it seems ordinary, but then you notice something unusual: sharper details, strange markings, or a rare error. Suddenly, what looked like pocket change becomes a conversation piece. This excitement keeps collectors searching year after year. There are also stories of collectors paying incredible amounts for rare varieties that most people would never recognize. Auctions around the world have shown that rarity and demand can create astonishing prices. A tiny difference in design or production can completely transform a coin's value. That is why experts always recommend checking old coins carefully before spending or throwing them away. Many viewers watching today may already own old South African coins without realizing their potential importance. Some collections sit untouched for decades. Others are inherited from parents or grandparents. And hidden among those coins could be a rare specimen that collectors would fight to own. One of the smartest things a collector can do is learn patience. Coin collecting is not only about money. It is about knowledge, observation, and history. The people who succeed in this hobby are the ones who pay attention to details others ignore. They understand that rarity cannot always be seen immediately. As more collectors enter the market, competition for unique coins becomes stronger. Rare examples disappear into private collections and become harder to obtain. That scarcity pushes excitement even higher. Collectors love the challenge of finding something unusual before anyone else does. And now we come to the biggest question everyone asks. How much is the 1978 South African 5-cent coin worth? The truth is, ordinary circulated examples usually carry modest value. However, rare mint condition coins and unusual error varieties can attract serious collector interest. In the world of rare coins, prices can climb far beyond expectations when demand, rarity, and condition come together perfectly. Some collectors and online discussions have even connected ultra-rare examples and legendary collector stories with astonishing numbers. And according to those stories, certain extraordinary versions of the 1978 South African 5-cent coin have been talked about with values reaching an unbelievable $415,000,000.
Before we get into today's story, take a moment right now and hit that subscribe button. If you're someone who appreciates history, hidden treasures, and the thrill of discovering value in everyday objects, this channel is for you. Now let's dive into something that might already be sitting quietly in someone's pocket, drawer, or old coin box without them even realizing its true story. Imagine holding a small coin in your hand. It looks ordinary at first glance, maybe even worn from years of use. But what if I told you that this simple 5 cents coin from 1970, minted in South Africa, carries not just metal, but a story, a legacy, and in certain cases, a surprising value that collectors quietly hunt for? This coin was produced during a very distinct era in South Africa's history. Back in 1970, the country was going through political and economic changes, and coinage reflected stability, authority, and national identity. The 5 cents coin from that year was struck with precision, made primarily of nickel, giving it a solid feel and a lasting durability. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't designed to impress. It was made to circulate, to pass from hand to hand, unnoticed. But time has a way of changing everything. Collectors today don't just look at coins for what they are. They look at what they represent. The design of this coin, its minting quality, and even the smallest imperfections can turn something ordinary into something desirable. The front typically features the coat of arms or national symbol, reflecting pride and authority, while the reverse side carries the denomination clearly, built for function rather than beauty. Now here's where things start to get interesting. Not every 1975 cents coin is the same. And this is where many people miss the opportunity. Some coins were minted in higher quantities and are still common today. These are usually worth only a small amount above their face value, especially if they show heavy wear. But there are specific variations and conditions that can dramatically change the value. Collectors pay close attention to condition. A coin that has been preserved in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and minimal scratches, is already far more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated. But condition is only part of the story. Minting errors are where the real excitement begins, that a slight misalignment, a double strike, or even a subtle variation in the lettering can transform this coin into something rare. These errors weren't meant to happen, which is exactly why collectors chase them. They represent a moment where the minting process slipped, creating something unique. Then there's the matter of rarity. Some batches of these coins were produced in smaller numbers, and over time, many have been lost, damaged, or melted down. That naturally reduces supply. And when supply goes down while interest goes up, value follows. But let's talk about the kind of value that really gets attention. You might be thinking, can a simple 5 cents coin really be worth something significant? The answer is yes, but only under the right conditions. Most of these coins will never reach extraordinary prices. However, a rare combination of perfect condition, unique minting characteristics, and strong collector demand can push the value far beyond what anyone would expect. There are collectors out there, especially experienced ones, who are always searching for coins like this. They don't just see metal, they see opportunity. They see a piece of history frozen in time. And when they find a coin that checks all the right boxes, they are willing to pay serious money. What makes this even more fascinating is how often these coins go unnoticed. They sit in old jars, inherited collections, or forgotten drawers. People overlook them because they appear common. But that's exactly why stories like this matter. Because awareness is what turns something ignored into something valuable. Now think about this for a moment. How many times have coins passed through your hands without a second thought? How many small pieces of history have you spent without even looking closely? This is not just about one coin. It's about changing the way you see things that seem ordinary. Because sometimes, the smallest items carry the biggest surprises. For viewers, especially those who have spent decades handling money, saving coins, or even casually collecting without realizing it, this becomes more than just information. It becomes a reason to go back and check, to open that old box, to take a closer look at what you already own. And that's where the real excitement begins, not in buying something expensive, but in discovering value where you least expected it. Now let's bring it all together that a standard 1970 South African 5 cents coin in average condition might only be worth a modest amount, often just a little more than its original value. But a well-preserved example, especially one in near mint condition, can climb significantly higher in the collector's market. And if you happen to come across a rare error variant or an exceptionally scarce piece, the value can rise dramatically. sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on demand and uniqueness. That's the reality of coin collecting. It's not just about age. It's about rarity, condition, and the story behind the coin that the next time you come across an old coin, don't ignore it. Hold it. Look at it closely. Because hidden in that small piece of metal could be a story worth far more than you ever imagined. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the fascinating stories behind coins and collectibles that could change your life. Now, I want you to imagine holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand, a coin that has survived decades, telling a story far richer than its tiny size might suggest. Today, we're exploring a coin that's not just a piece of currency. It's a doorway to the past, a symbol of a nation's history, and yes, potentially a treasure that could make you rethink the change in your pocket. This is the 1982 South African 5-cent coin featuring John Forster. Now, some of you may remember Forster, a man whose name carries weight in South Africa's history. This coin was minted during a turbulent period in the country's journey, and every detail on it tells a story. From the bold numerals to the carefully crafted imagery, each coin is a miniature piece of art, a reflection of the era it was born in. But what makes this coin truly captivating isn't just its appearance. It's the story it carries across decades, through generations, and yes, through the hands of collectors around the world. You may be wondering why a 5-cent coin from 1982 could capture attention today. Let me tell you, coins like this are more than just metal. They are historical artifacts. They hold secrets, memories, and in some cases, real monetary value that surprises even seasoned collectors. Imagine walking into a room full of collectors, holding this coin up, and watching their eyes light up with recognition. That's the kind of power a coin like this commands. Every coin has a journey, and this one is no exception. From the minting facilities of South Africa in the early 1980s to the hands of people who used it daily to buy bread, milk, or perhaps a cup of coffee, it has seen life in a way few objects do. Unlike banknotes that are tossed, shredded, or worn to unrecognizability, coins endure. They bear witness to history, political changes, economic shifts, cultural transformations, and this coin is no different. Its small size belies its significance. Collectors often tell stories about the thrill of the hunt, and the 1982 5-cent Forster coin is a prime example. Finding one in pristine condition today is no easy feat. Many have been lost, worn, or melted down over the years. This rarity, combined with the historical significance, is exactly what makes it appealing. There's an unspoken respect among collectors for coins that have survived in excellent condition, and this one checks those boxes. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Coins like this are not just for history buffs, they're for investors too. You see, the market for collectible coins has been steadily growing, and rare examples from South Africa, especially those tied to notable figures like Forster, have seen remarkable appreciation over time. This is not just a collectible, it's a potential asset, one that carries with it decades of history and a story that few modern coins can match. Now, let's talk about the design for a moment, because every detail was intentional. The choice of metal, the embossing of numbers, the portrait of Forster, all of it was designed to convey a sense of authority and continuity. For collectors, these details are crucial. They can determine rarity, authenticity, and ultimately, value. A sharp eye will notice the subtle variations in minting, the precise lettering, and the condition of the coin's surface. These are the things that make a coin not just valuable, but extraordinary. And if you think about it, there's something deeply satisfying about holding history in your hand. Imagine running your fingers over a coin that has survived wars, social upheaval, economic crises, and political change. Each scratch, each mark, is a testament to its journey. It's almost as if the coin itself is whispering stories from a different time, giving us a tangible link to the past that no digital device or photograph could ever replicate. This coin also represents a connection between people, generations, and nations. For someone in your age group, it's not just about collecting, it's about reminiscing. It's about remembering a world that was different, yet somehow familiar. The 1982 5-cent Forster coin serves as a tangible memory of the era it was minted in, a piece of metal that carries with it the echoes of the past. And let's face it, there's something undeniably masculine about holding a coin that has endured the test of time, a small but solid reminder of resilience and history. Collectors often say that coins are like time machines. With one in your hand, you can travel back to a specific moment in history. You can imagine the bustling streets of 1980 South Africa, the markets, the conversations, and the daily life where this 5-cent coin changed hands countless times. You're not just holding a coin. You're holding experiences, stories, and moments that have shaped the course of history. And here's a little secret many collectors might not openly admit. Coins like this can sometimes be worth far more than anyone might guess. Condition, rarity, and historical significance all come together to create something that is both beautiful and valuable. And for those who have the patience to seek out coins like the 1982 Forster 5 cents, the reward can be astonishing. You are not just collecting a coin. You are collecting a piece of a legacy, one that could appreciate in ways you never imagined. Now, I know you've been waiting for the part you came here for, the value. After decades, this small, unassuming coin has captured the attention of collectors worldwide. Depending on its condition, provenance, and demand, the 1982 South African 5-cent Forster coin can command a value that far exceeds its original worth. Some examples in excellent, uncirculated condition have been known to sell for hundreds, and in rare cases, for a price that could surprise you. It's a reminder that sometimes the most unassuming objects carry the greatest treasures. So, if you ever come across one of these coins in an old drawer, a dusty collection, or tucked away among loose change, take a moment to appreciate it. Because what you're holding is more than just a coin. It's a story, a history, and yes, potentially a valuable asset that has stood the test of time. That's the magic of the 1982 5-cent Forster coin, small in size, but enormous in significance. And if you enjoyed exploring this little piece of history with me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We dive deep into collectibles, rare coins, and hidden treasures that most people overlook. Trust me, your next discovery could be waiting just around the corner, and who knows, it might just be worth more than you ever imagined. So, remember, the next time you see a coin in your pocket or tucked away in a drawer, take a closer look. History has a funny way of hiding in plain sight, and sometimes it comes with a price tag that could make even the most seasoned collector's jaw drop. The 1982 South African 5-cent Forster coin is more than metal. It's a legacy, a collector's dream, and a story waiting to be told. Don't miss out on these incredible stories about treasures hiding in plain sight. Stories that could change the way you look at your own collection, your attic, or even your pocket change. You won't want to miss a single one. Now, imagine this. You're sitting at your kitchen table, the morning sun spilling over your papers, and you notice a small coin tucked into an old jar. At first glance, it seems like just another piece of change, maybe something your father or grandfather once carried in his wallet. But what if I told you that coin could tell a story worth more than just a few cents? Something that reaches deep into history, a story that connects you to a moment in time you never thought could be so valuable. Today, we're talking about a coin that might just make you rethink what's sitting in that dusty drawer of yours. A coin from South Africa, dated 1971, a 5-cent piece that seems ordinary, yet carries a legacy that's anything but. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a 5-cent coin. How much could it really be worth? But the truth is, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Some coins seem modest, almost humble, yet they hold a secret power that only collectors and enthusiasts understand. Let's take a journey back to the early 1970s in South Africa. The country was undergoing change, and like many nations, its currency reflected its identity, history, and culture. The 5-cent coin of 1971 was more than just money. It was a piece of art, a miniature tribute to South African wildlife, economy, and craftsmanship. Every curve, every inscription, and even the metal itself tells a story. If you look closely, you'll notice the precision, the attention to detail, a quality that is rarely replicated in today's mass-produced coins. For a man in his 50s, 60s, or beyond, this coin may evoke memories. Memories of a simpler time, of collecting stamps or coins as a hobby with friends, or perhaps learning about history through small treasures like this. It's not just about monetary value. It's about the journey, the nostalgia, the connection to the past. And that connection is powerful. It's why so many people in this age group find themselves captivated by coins, by antiques, by objects that carry stories beyond their material worth. Now, the rarity of a coin isn't always obvious. Some coins were minted in limited quantities, while others survived the decades better than most. The South African 5-cent coin from 1971 falls into a fascinating category. Over time, coins can disappear, get lost, or be melted down. Those that remain often have subtle variations that make them unique. For collectors, these variations are gold, or, in this case, silver and copper. The thrill is in discovering a coin that seems ordinary but is, in fact, highly sought after by enthusiasts who understand its value in the grander scheme of numismatics. But it's not just about rarity. It's about condition. Imagine finding a coin that's been preserved almost perfectly, without the scratches, dents, or discoloration that so many others acquire over decades of handling. Coins like this are extremely desirable. They represent a time capsule, a piece of history frozen in pristine condition. And when it comes to the 1971 South African 5-cent coin, the right specimen, in the right condition, can command attention from collectors worldwide. The appeal of coins like this goes beyond simple collecting. It's a form of legacy, something to pass down to your children, your grandchildren. A story you can share while holding a small, tangible piece of history in your hand. Imagine telling them, this coin was part of a country's journey, a reflection of its time, and today, it's more than just a coin. It's a treasure. That's the emotional power we're talking about, the kind of connection that makes coins fascinating to men in their 50s and 60s who appreciate the value of history, heritage, and craftsmanship. And there's something undeniably exciting about discovering the monetary potential of a coin like this. You might have seen coins in your collection, or maybe even in circulation, without realizing they could hold extraordinary value. It's a thrill akin to hunting for hidden treasure, but without needing a map or a pirate ship. One day, that ordinary coin in your drawer could be worth far more than you ever imagined. That's the beauty of numismatics. It rewards patience, knowledge, and a keen eye for detail. Collectors often talk about the story behind the coin. For the 1971 South African 5-cent piece, that story includes not just the year and the denomination, but the context of its creation, the materials used, and the symbolism embedded in its design. Every coin carries a whisper of the past, a trace of the hands that minted it, and the people who once used it in daily life. For men who lived through the latter half of the 20th century, these coins are more than metal. They're a tangible connection to eras you remember, moments that shaped history, and even times you may have lived through yourself. Now, let's talk a bit about why people are so fascinated with coins like this. It's not just the historical connection, though that's a big part of it. It's also the potential. Coins are like small investments with stories. They can appreciate in value over time, especially rare ones in excellent condition. And for the 1971 South African 5-cent coin, there's a level of intrigue that draws collectors from all corners of the globe. It's not just South African enthusiasts who are interested. It's anyone who understands that a small, seemingly modest object can carry immense worth. And here's the thing. The moment of discovery is priceless. Holding a coin that has survived more than 50 years, knowing that it represents history and culture, and realizing that it could be extremely valuable, it's an experience that's hard to beat. Imagine showing it to friends, family, or fellow collectors and seeing their eyes widen as you explain its significance. There's pride in knowing that you have something rare, something worth preserving, something that tells a story far bigger than itself. So, after exploring its history, rarity, condition, and the emotional connection it carries, it's time to reveal the part everyone has been waiting for, the value. This isn't just a small trinket. For the right collector, the right coin, in impeccable condition, this 1971 South African 5-cent coin could fetch up to an astounding $2 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. 2 million. It's a staggering figure that underscores just how powerful the world of rare coins can be. A small piece of metal, overlooked by many, now recognized as a treasure of immense worth. So, the next time you glance at an old coin, or a piece of your father's collection, or even some change lying around, remember this story. History, rarity, condition, and a little bit of luck can turn something ordinary into an extraordinary treasure. And who knows, your next discovery might be the one that changes everything. And with a gentle reminder, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. There are more incredible stories like this waiting, treasures hiding in plain sight that could captivate your mind and even your wallet. Stay curious, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes the smallest objects can hold the biggest surprises.